There's my
Awesome.
guy.
He's such a cool guy.
Because he's black. Is that why he's cool?
Yeah, he's so smooth.
He's just inherently cool.
No, he sounds like a nice, jovial guy.
Yeah, he
He's like,
does.
hey, this call's gonna be recorded. I think
All
my
right.
Siri was not very good,
Your
but
series not good?
yeah, she was like, this call will be recorded.
You got to get a different one. Switch it up. See what else they got.
I guess I'll try something else out. But I had my Siri going off at times when I didn't want her to, and she'd be like, mm-hmm. So I just turned it to text only. So
Yeah, that
I
is
kind of
weird.
just got rid of my Siri altogether. They're listening, man.
Oh yeah. I feel like that's a conspiracy that's been proven. They're like always listening or have the
Yeah,
ability to always listen.
totally not a conspiracy. That's completely real.
Like they'll
No,
like
no
they
doubt.
will advertise things that you talk about. You'll find it on like all your feeds later on if you talk about like a product or something.
Yeah, but I don't. You can also like that's part of the social contract of having a phone and agreeing to all those terms of services. Like it sucks, but I don't know.
Yeah, that stuff is wild because no one actually reads them, and they think, and they know that no one's reading them, so they're like slipping other stuff in there. I heard
I
a
wrote
report.
a. Go ahead.
I heard a report on that specific thing, like terms and agreements, and what you agree on. A lot of those, like there was a case about a like a children's gym, kind of like a Sky Zone type place, and one of the kids, someone's kid got hurt there, and they're trying to sue, and all the terms and agreements made it to where that you have to like use a special type of court, and they get to like choose a special type of judge, and it basically just like fucks with the whole case, and it's like there's barely any chance that you're gonna actually get justice for whatever happened to your kid. And it's the same way for a lot of those types of things.
Yeah, I mean that's not surprising at all. I'm surprised that they're not like. I guess like if there's an equipment malfunction or something, they'd be liable. But like, I'm surprised you could challenge Sky Zone in court at all.
I mean,
Because
you
the
should
way
be
they're like,
able to, for sure. You need to be able to like that's how you
I don't
keep these
know. That's
people
part of
like
the contract for.
operating. Well, they say, okay, like if your child gets hurt and it's a normal thing, and they try to do a backflip and they were doing something stupid, yeah, like they shouldn't be liable. But there are cases where if it was like
Like
extreme
if your
negligence
trampoline
on
rips in
their,
half.
yeah, like there are some definitely some cases where they should be liable and like at fault.
Yeah, that does make sense. I don't. Yeah, I don't know about special courts or anything, but that is like that's not surprising at all. It's bad. I was telling you about my 10-page FCC paper, but uh, I talked about how bad like policy is in terms of saving people's data, and it's also like a uniquely American thing. Like Europe's got it pretty locked down in terms of how you can use people's data, like social media and stuff.
Really?
I mean, that's what I've heard. I can't say for certain because I've never been. I'm not a policymaker in Europe, but it seems like it's like a lot more strict on how you can harvest people's data and what you can use it for. But like our whole system runs on selling people's data. It's just what we do.
Yeah, I mean that's the product right now for sure.
All of my classes that are like not even connected to each other kind of talk about that, which is pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the worst case scenario is with that, but the data is a big thing. Especially, I mean, especially if you think about the data, like, okay, they can listen to all your conversations, then can they like, flag things that you say, and they could like use that against you and take it out of context? I feel like all that is within the realm of possibility.
Um, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Give me an example. How would they do that?
Like if I'm like talking to you right now and I'm saying like, yeah, I kind of want to kill this guy, blah blah blah, but maybe we're just joking. But then they like link it, somehow find myself in court for some kind of crime, and they're like, yeah, well, you've had this conversation before where you've talked about being violent, you've talked about the fact that you own a gun, the fact that you like guns, like they'll just bring all this shit up.
Hmm.
I mean,
I don't know. I'm sure there's like um, precedents that have been set in court about that.
well, what about like deep fakes now? What about how like AI can just create like fake security cam footage of you like doing a crime?
Yeah, that is fucked.
That
That's
might start to
so
get
brutal.
weird. We're definitely getting into that territory of where you can like create a video that is passable to most people, and you can make
It'd be
yourself
pretty
into
hard
someone
though,
else.
because like, well, they were. I don't remember what case it was, but it was like a big, like federal case, and some of the videos like metadata was like clearly chopped up or something,
Yeah.
and they figured that out. So I think I don't
Are
know.
you
I got a
are you
little bit
talking
of
about
hope.
the Epstein one? That was a big one.
Uh, maybe. What happened with video in that one?
It was the security cam footage of his jail cell the night of his death.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
And they were like,
Yes.
"Oh, the camera shut off for 5 minutes. Isn't that weird?"
Yeah.
They're
I
like,
guess
"We
I
don't
don't have
have
hope then.
any video of it." And then they're like, "Okay, well, show us what you have." And what they released it, and someone was able to look at the metadata and say, "No,
See it?
you
Yeah.
edited this in Premiere. There's like clear like splices here."
Yeah. And then they
So
were arguing that putting it into Premiere is like just classic preparing for court, which I don't believe. Yeah, I guess we're fucked.
I mean, they were caught. Like I think all these stories, like people have been caught red-handed, just nothing happens, and that's what's crazy to me is like we're onto you, and you're not really giving good evidence for your case, and like there's so many questions, but we'll just brush it under the rug and keep going. These people aren't going to come down.
You don't think they're ever gonna come down?
I mean, it would. I think it would trigger like the downfall of society, and that's probably why they're propping it up because they're just like, no, we can't afford to do this.
Propping what up?
Like, not prosecuting, like the full Epstein files not released.
Um, I'm not sure I follow what you're saying.
Like if okay, so like the Epstein files, UFO files, the history of like Nazi Germany, like all these like kind of weird cases that we're all like, oh, there's something fishy going on, but we don't know what it is. If we were to actually like uncover this stuff, then like society would collapse for one reason or another, just because the drama of it or the fact that it would like shine a light on the fact that everything is not what it seems.
I don't
Like
know. I
Factor
don't think
X,
there's. Okay,
like the thing that
go
we
on.
don't know. Like it's so bad. Like this stuff is all it's all pointing in the direction of stuff that is just so bad and so like just like earth shattering, paradigm shifting kind of stuff. Like everyone would just be like appalled and it would just like really like shake society.
I don't know. I think you're being a victim of sensationalism right now. Like it is like these things are all bad, but we all know about them and just can't do anything about them. Like it's. I feel like the common man knows that the government is up to bad shit. You
Yeah,
know,
but it makes you think like how have we not come gotten to the bottom of anything ever
because the people
once?
in power don't want us to, and they're the ones with the power.
Like they don't ever throw us a bone. Not one time have we gotten a bone.
Well, everybody thought Trump was throwing them a bone, and then he was just one of them. Like that's just, I don't know. That's how it goes. I think maybe the two-party system will collapse soon, and we'll have people who are more representative of the common man.
I don't know. Maybe so. I just think
But
they'll try
yeah, I
to
don't know.
force them out. The powers that be wouldn't allow it.
The powers that be aren't always going to be the powers that be. Like I think my generation is is like even more fed up than your generation, and it's just going to continue. Like at some point,
No,
there's going
but
to be some kind of radical change.
see, that's what I'm talking about, though. There just never is.
That's so not true. Look at any history ever.
There never was. It's all just we're all just recycling history, and the people in power have just like continued to pass it off generation after generation, and we have gotten nowhere essentially.
I don't know. I think the U.S. Constitution and the Bill of Rights and all that kind of stuff was like pretty new, and we have like one of the longest standing constitutions. Like it's probably just time, you know. I don't know. Like yes, obviously history does repeat itself and work in cycles, but we also learn with each iteration and try to improve. And power corrupts, so it's hard to not have things be bad.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't. I mean, I think it's like there's a lot of. I heard some stuff about the founding fathers that like they're like part of the Masons and stuff like that, and they were,
What is the Masons?
like the Freemasons. It's like a secret society. One of the secret societies that controls everything.
I mean, they were part of the elite, so like that's not surprising. But I don't know, they also like created a pretty functional constitution. I think there's just some issues with our system that they didn't see happening, um, and some revisions need to be made. Or maybe we just need an armed revolution. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I hope not. That would be apocalyptic.
An armed revolution would be apocalyptic.
Yeah, just like anarchy, martial law, that kind of a thing.
I mean, I guess yeah, it'd be like a little apocalyptic, but they happen.
I don't know.
And at some point, it's got to happen if instead of alleviating some of the issues, they just keep growing and uh, hurting the common man. But I don't know. Then
Maybe
there's like the argument that like we're operating within the system is what they want you to do, and they're just going to continue to make you complacent and all that. I don't know. I don't know what to think.
maybe Jesus will come back.
I guess. I feel like if Jesus came back, no one would give a fuck. There's like too many Instagram reels and shit now.
I mean, I think he would make sure that people saw him.
How?
I don't know. He would have like the most fire TikTok page you've ever seen.
I don't know that he would participate in TikTok.
Well, he's got to meet the people where they're at.
I guess so.
I mean, I'm really just kidding, but
What would he do on TikTok?
miracles, bro. What else?
He'd perform there. He'd be like, "What's up? What's up, guys? Today I'm gonna cure a blind man,
Yeah,
and
he
it's
would.
actually his faith that's gonna cure him, and not me."
Yeah, and he would just have like a bunch of his homies behind him just like reacting to all the shit he does.
He'd be like, "Yo,
Oh
holy
shit,
shit!"
Jesus, you did it again.
Yeah, and all the comments would be like, "This is fake as fuck. Kill yourself."
Yeah, that's the sad part. Jesus would shed a single tear because we're like, I'm here, but humanity doesn't believe me. They think I'm an AI
That's what I'm
generated.
saying, dude. Yeah, no one would give a fuck. AI's our god, bro.
Whoa, don't say that.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
How about some Bill Gates updates?
What do you got?
I really didn't come to like any solid conclusions. Shocker there, but But I know, like, I looked into his history of like why people like really hated him in the '90s, and like I think we probably talked about it, but like his basically his like business model was just stealing everyone else's code and like doing some very like unethical things and like actually like he got a lot into a lot of lawsuits back then for companies that he would just literally steal their code and like release it as a Microsoft. People would sue him and he would just pay them off and just keep going. And he just did that and did that and did that until he like became the dominant operating system
It's
or whatever.
business, baby. That's how
Yeah.
Rockefeller got up. He just bought out everyone else.
So he
It's like
basically just kind of like, manipulated everyone around him and his products weren't necessarily better, but he just stole everyone else's work. That's how he like got his empire and so everyone hated him and then he got a pie in the face and he did some like,
that video was so funny.
philanthropy. Yeah, that was funny. He's like cowering like such a dweeb. He's like, "Ugh."
Yeah, he looks like he's making that noise. That video. What the fuck? Who was like, we need to pie Bill Gates?
I don't know, but it's kind of like legendary. It was like
We
three
need to pie
people.
someone else, dude.
Yeah, we need to like keep that going. You're right. It's so good because it's not like dangerous. It's just like you're embarrassing someone.
Did you like get in trouble for that?
Yeah, they could probably say it's like assault or something. You'd probably, I mean, I think they would drop charges knowing that it's literally just a cream pie, but I think you'd definitely get arrested and if it's like a big figure like that.
Fucking stupid.
And then okay, so he did the philanthropic stuff to kind of change his image. So he started doing the vaccine stuff, and there's clearly mixed reviews. There's people that will come out and be like, his polio vaccine is actually like giving polio to these African children, and that's bad. And but
Okay.
of course, you'll find articles that say, yeah, it's a conspiracy, and no, he's not actually giving polio. So it's always sort of ends up like that, but he's also been tied to Epstein, and his wife divorced him. Melinda Gates divorced him. One because he had an affair. They said there's multiple reasons. One, he had an affair like in the early 2000s. But another one is that she like was quoted saying that his ties with Epstein is abhorrent, and there's no way that she could build trust in him anymore. So that's interesting.
Okay, Melinda.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, this just sounds like classic billionaire stuff. He's just like a morally corrupted person.
Yeah. It's a shame. I mean, the whole Epstein thing is like what if he was, I mean, this is where like I go to the depths of conspiracy. Like what if he was just chosen like way back in the 90s? They're like, okay, you're good at business, you're pretty smart, but we're going to see to it that Microsoft prevails, and he had like a lot of help, and everyone, like whoever powerful people back then like stole the code for him, did a lot of the dirty work and like promoted him. But the reason they would do that is because he was already what's it called, like um damn, what's the word, he was already like so they have like blackmail on him, right? So they kind of can control him. So now he's just a figure, he's a face of this like technocracy, but he has a dark past, so they can control him. So now he's like sort of a pawn in the deep state, or whoever you want to call it. He's like a pawn for them, so he's going out and it looks like it's all his ideas, but he's really just like a figurehead of this big like octopus of people controlling the world.
And he's also a reptile, of course.
Yeah, either metaphorically or in actuality, yeah, he's a reptile
Well, I
person.
mean, I think I don't know about him having a dark past before Microsoft or whatever, but I think he is definitely a figurehead of this octopus of an oligarchy of rich people. There's no question about that, and they do have power and control over us.
Yeah, so that's the theory about Epstein and Diddy and all these things, is like they have like these really high profile people and they get them to do these heinous things, and record them, and then they have power over them. So it's like we can ruin your entire life, or you can do what we say
I
and
don't
like
know that that
follow the
happened to
plan.
Diddy. I know that like that is what Epstein was doing. Like definitely, that's why everyone is like, "Fuck, we can't release this. Oh fuck, we have to redact everything."
Yeah,
Because he totally had all of it. He had a bunch of power, and then when he had to be convicted, they had to cover it up, and they definitely killed him and all that. Um, I don't think that happened to. Well, I don't think anyone was controlling that from behind Epstein. I think he just saw an in a powerful place and he took it
Well,
by.
he had ties to the Mossad. He had ties to Israel's and like and also USA CSA
Isn't
CIA.
that just because he had money?
No, well that's the other thing is that he was given his money and given his power, and so he was
Well, what
another
didn't
one
he
of these.
inherit like his initial money?
He was he like there's in his history he like was given jobs for like jobs that he did not he wasn't qualified for. And then he was also Leslie Wexner is tied to him a lot, and he was like one of his big like donors. Like Leslie Wexner like gave him a multi-million dollar house, like a couple of them, and like gave him a shit ton of money just for like helping with like there was like just zero reason why he was like giving him all these
Probably
things.
because he was being blackmailed already at that point, right?
Who, Leslie Wexner?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Leslie Wexner was in on it, and he's like part of the deal. And like, I think Epstein might have been like working for Leslie Wexner.
Who is Leslie Wexner?
So he was the owner of Victoria's Secret,
Oh, okay.
and he's like one of the wealthy. He lives in Ohio, and he's like the wealthiest
I
person
don't
in
know. That
Ohio or
seems
something.
like a sleazy, predatory guy
Exactly.
already. So he could have been. Well, yeah, I guess he could have been in cahoots.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's like, again, it's just like nepotism.
I mean, I
Like,
think they were working together off the books, and
and their
it's
plan was to infiltrate politics, or what?
no, it's like whatever operation Epstein was like doing, Wexner was like an executive. Think of like Epstein was managing the blackmail operation. Wexler was like his executive that overseed his account and gave him resources when he needed it. And probably brought in more clients. Like it's like a network of people, and it's the same. So like Epstein was a manager, but he worked for people in the CIA. He worked for people in the Mossad. He worked for people like Leslie Wexner as well, and they're all like in on this like operation, whatever it was they're doing, involving blackmail, involving like important politicians. They had a lot of like interest from scientists like Stephen Hawking and Bill Gates and like all these like just different like very noteworthy people in all of society.
Well, okay. My assumption would be whether in cahoots with other people or not. His whole thing was, I'm going to get money and power by exploiting people and blackmailing the people in power all the way to the top,
So yeah,
and
you're looking.
also by developing like this like connection through crime that people develop.
Yeah, you're.
What do you like? What's the ulterior motive in like potentially like pairing up with the CIA or whatever, or Mossad?
So the CIA hired him. He is a CIA asset. You're thinking of him as like almost like an entrepreneur who like worked his way and doing all these dirty things and used blackmail to his advantage. But I think he was just someone that they were like, all right, we'll use you. You're gonna run
Okay,
this
so yeah,
operation.
let's say he's a pawn. What is the operation still?
Yeah, the operation is basically like control everything. It's the same operation that it's always been. It's the octopus, and we don't know what exactly it is, but it's just like take power. It's like keep power, maintain power. It's like generational power. It's like these secret societies that have been controlling this stuff for hundreds, maybe thousands of years, or maybe thousands is a lot, but it's like that's the burning question. What
Hmm.
are they doing? That's the question that everyone has, and everyone, and so like QAnon was like, oh, they are vampiric, pedophiles, and they're like drinking the blood and like sacrificing babies, and that's how they're like maintaining power and wealth, and they're like praying to God. It's all like a satanic cult where they sacrifice children to like their god, who's like Satan or Lucifer or Baal or Molech or any of these like satanic beasts, and they've been doing it for like centuries. And it's like shit that the Aztecs were doing. It's like in his there's like history of all this stuff going on. And I think QAnon is not true. Just to say, I think QAnon is like another psyop to mislead people. But I think the whole like satanic cult aspect of it, there might be some truth to that.
And you think they're harvesting the power of Satan
Yeah,
to do what though?
to
To me, this it
control the
just
world of
seems
man.
like they
It's
already
literally
are
like
doing
Lord of
that
the
just by
Rings.
having money, don't you think?
Say again?
I feel like they're already controlling the will of man or whatever just by having money. Like it really is just money
Yeah,
brings you power and control. Like
yeah.
there's no conspiracy to this to me.
I mean, yes.
Except maybe if the CIA is involved, I don't understand why they would want that or how it would help them.
So there's all kinds of other tangents that part of it is like that they're okay, they have made contact with aliens. This is quote unquote like this is like a theory. So this is part of it is like that they're just kind of operating on a level that we don't know about, and that's why this all this stuff is covered up. So if there's an alien aspect to it, maybe they're talking to like interdimensional aliens or like interdimensional demonic beings that we see as aliens, and they're getting technology and like energy or something from it, and they have deals with them, and they're like time traveling, they're doing all this kind of crazy shit, and it's like that's why we can't know any of this stuff is because they're doing like crazy stuff that like is like we would never even think that they're doing, and like they have a lot of money and power, and that's just like what we see and what we notice, but there's like more going on, and they like this, so like the alien thing might be part of it, the satanic thing might be part of it, like they might actually be like murdering children and drinking their blood, and like maybe that's given like we have all these historic accounts of vampires, like maybe that's kind of where it comes from, like these like crazy people have been around lurking in the shadows and like controlling things for since the dawn of man or something like that. Like I don't know. Like that's how deep it could go. Like that's where all these conspiracy theories go. And you have like the Germans in World War II were working on a lot of this like free energy slash time travel slash they, maybe were like talking to aliens in the Antarctica, and they were like have a base in Antarctica, and they're like still alive and well, and like and like they actually won World War II, but they just like made it look like they lost because that's just the story they wanted to portray to the world to make us feel like we're still in control, but really they're like in Antarctica under some base with aliens doing crazy satanic shit and
Wait,
time traveling.
what?
I'm saying this is where all this stuff goes. Like it's like there's a lot of like depth to it, and I'm not saying there's any precedent like that we don't know. Like this is obviously crazy stuff, but it makes me wonder like that there's just more going on, like behind it all.
I don't. I have more faith in the. Uh, like I said last time. Actually, I don't know what word I used, but like the ineptitude of humanity. Like it just feels like it's fun to like fantasize about these people being like satanic and like having these like energy fields and talking to aliens and all that. But I feel like it's just they have money and power and that's mysterious in and of itself.
I don't know. I think there's more shit going on. I don't know that to the extent of what I just said is going on, but I think that there's probably some details that we just don't know about. That's kind of where it lies with me.
Well, I don't know. Well, only they know, man. And all we can do is start an armed revolution or pie them in the face.
I think it has to be some kind of a peaceful revolution. That's why if the truth came out, we just wouldn't comply. That's why the truth can't come out. Like they would lose all their power if we knew like any of their dark secrets. It's not just that they're corrupt and like have a lot of money and stabbed bags. I think that's like literally just like the bottom of it. That's like just that's
But
just the outer
even
shell.
if all the truth of the things they do with their wealth and power came out, we would, it would be unacceptable, you know? And there's no conspiracy to that at all.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people just sort of have accepted that much of it.
I don't know.
I think the crazy stuff,
What?
like if they, let's say hypothetically that they were stealing children and like having sex with them and then killing them and then drinking their blood, I think people would viscerally react, and like that's when an armed revolution probably would happen.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But as of right now, it's like, yeah, we know that billionaires are corrupt and they don't pay taxes and they stabbed everyone's back to get there. And, they probably are like sexual deviants and, they probably are like just really shitty. We're all like, we kind of get, like, everyone knows that. Like, that's just sort of like, yeah, like we accept that to some extent.
But if you, I don't know. How do we find out about this then? What do we do?
I don't know. Research. You should like research conspiracy. Did you ever watch
Get
Ian
on
Carroll?
Brave browser. Did I watch what?
Ian Carroll?
Is that the guy that you sent that was like the 8 hour video?
Yeah.
Dude, I watched like the first 45 minutes of it. It was so boring. He just was like, he was like, this happened, but did it really happen? Who knows? It was like the whole video. He was like, the California fires. Are we really supposed to believe someone set it on fire on accident? Who knows? Like, I don't know. I wanted him to be more conspiratorial, have more of a concise theory.
But I think that that is valuable in itself. Is just like that. There's so many questions about all these things. Like that was just one year, 2025. There was all these
But
incidents.
what he's doing is not like skilled at all. He's just being like, "This is what happened. Let's question it. You can do that. I can do that. That's
That's why I like him. Yeah, that's exactly why I like him because he doesn't jump to conclusions. He just says like, "This is weird. This is weird," and it's just. I think that's valid. It's like, yeah, this is weird. Like, why is all this shit so weird?
I guess I would rather be guided by someone who's going to make an 8 hour video on the year's recap because it just felt like a waste of time to be like, this happened. Remember when this happened and then we forgot about it?
Well, then,
Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Then I mean, I gave you that guy because I thought he was more accessible. But if that's the case, then you should listen to Alex Jones, Kurt Metzger, Sam Tripoli. These guys, but all these guys like get kind of lost in the sauce and they go a little crazy, and it's like hard to follow because it's like probably what they're saying is like 75% true, but there's like 25% of stuff that it's just like they probably got some stuff wrong. That's just the nature of conspiracies. It's just like there's so much bullshit out there, but a lot of it's true, but you kind of never know what is actually true.
I I guess, yeah. Sure, dude. Send me Alex Jones clips. I'll look at them and I'll critique him. I
I mean,
think
he does a live broadcast every day. Just tune in.
I'm not tuning into a live broadcast, dude. I don't do the
Why
whole
not?
live stuff. I'm not letting him suck my life away.
I mean,
Live broadcasting is stealing your soul.
all right. Well, then you got to go to band.video and look at his like. He has some just a ton of videos out there, and he has like a bunch of stuff on Bill Gates too. So
What does he think about Bill Gates?
he's the one who says like his vaccines are like a plan to depopulate the earth
That's so dumb. I don't. That's like, why would that be his thing that he wants to do? He could just not give people vaccines.
because he's evil. This is the whole point. The whole point is that there's more going on behind the surface and that they are lizard people. If not actually, they just have like a psychopathy that we can't understand. And their goal is to like depopulate the earth on one hand because they like it, on another hand because it's like part of the new world order and they want to like control humanity more than they already do. And they want to, have like one world government that tells everyone what to do, where to live, how to eat, and they want to put everyone in like cities and you can't own land. Like they have quotes of people that they're famous quotes of like you will own nothing and you will like it, and they want people to eat bugs because those are like
Is that
actual
a real
quotes.
quote? I thought that was just a reference to how everything is subscription based now.
No, that's a real quote, and they do it at those
Look it
like
up. Who said it?
World Economic Forums. It's George Soros.
Who's that?
He's just like one of these like
Oh, this is the
billionaires.
Democrat guy that everyone hates?
No, he's a like a billionaire guy that is like an evil villain character, and he wears like the weirdest. He wears like Darth Vader suits out on the beach. Like he's the craziest. It's like sometimes it's too on the nose.
Yeah, I guess. Too on the nose that he's a fan of Darth Vader, or that he thinks he's
No, it's like a Darth
running
Vader. It's
the
not actually
Dark
Darth Vader.
Empire.
It's like a tailored suit that's just like crazy, like matte black, and has like these weird shoulder pieces on it. It's not actually Darth Vader. It's
That
just
sounds
like
badass. If I was rich, I'd wear stupid shit like that.
I mean, not if you're telling the world how you want to govern it and like telling them they're going to eat bugs and grasshopper protein and no more beef.
Why would he say these things? Why, like, where did he say these things?
He does it at like, World Economic Forum and like the Davos like billionaire world planner committee and all this shit.
Billionaire World Planner Committee? Okay.
I mean, that's essentially what it is. It's not called that. All right, the phrase is popular slogan associated with the World Economic Forum and was coined by Danish politician Ida Akun in 2016 essay titled Welcome to 2030, which discussed a hypothetical future scenario of sharing economy. The phrase has been frequently cited in criticism of the WEF and its founder Klaus Schwab, rather than being a quote from Soros. All
Hmm.
right. I guess he didn't.
But that's that quote specifically is a critique of the economic systems that the people in power are placing on us right now. Because like, did you see that Tesla's doing a subscription service for the self driving feature?
No. So like you have to pay
That
monthly to be able to be
yeah,
self-driven.
yes, that's so crazy.
Yeah. I like the self-driving thing with Tesla. I heard that what they wanted to do is have it to where it would just go out and like be your own Uber, but you wouldn't have to drive. So you could turn your car on as like self-drive mode and it would just go out and pick up rides and like pay you for it and you'd like earn income. That would be cool.
Oh, yeah. Would you? Are you just like the being a pilot basically, where it's like you're just there for emergencies?
No, you wouldn't even have to be there. It could be a
So you
Saturday and you're
just
not
own it.
working.
It's like you're renting it out.
Yeah,
It's like
exactly.
owning a Waymo.
Yeah, exactly. You just turn it on Waymo mode, whatever Tesla's version of that is, and it'll just go out and do rides. And you say, "All right, come back at 5 p.m." And it'll just go out and do like Waymo rides and then
It's
come
like
back to
mining
you.
Bitcoin. That's
Yeah.
a funny concept. I don't think that's gonna happen. Especially,
Why
well,
not?
I guess it could happen.
Why wouldn't that
But
happen?
if
We
he,
have all the tools we
because if
need.
he's, yeah, it could very easily happen. But it would give too much money and power to the people. If he's trying to move to a self-driving subscription, why would he do that?
I don't know.
That'd be cool. Also, what's the deal with Starlink? Are we gonna have free satellite service at some point?
No, it costs like $100 a month to get it. I was gonna get one or 50.
You're gonna get a subscription to it, or
Well,
maybe
I
get
think it would be
one.
cool if they had those minis where you could I thought you just buy it once and you have access to the internet forever, but no, it's
Is it,
obviously a
is it like a
subscription.
phone? What do you mean? What is it that you're
Yeah,
physically buying?
it's like a built-in satellite with a router built in. You just like if you're going camping, you just like put it on the ground and you have Wi-Fi.
Oh, you connect. Oh, it's like a router on the ground. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
so you
thought you
just
just.
connect to Wi-Fi and it links to Starlink, so it links to the satellites and gives you internet wherever you are.
I thought you just beamed up your phone to the satellite.
I mean that could probably happen in the future. Right now, you need that like piece of hardware, but
Hmm. I was talking in my political science class about interest groups, and we started talking about how James Madison, was he wrote Federalist 10, and he was talking about how factions are like what we should fear, and specifically majority factions that share common interests with the majority of the population, but at the detriment of the rights of the rest of the population. And that's like why we have a republic, basically. And it's interesting because he didn't consider Well, I guess maybe he did consider it, but oh, actually, I'm having an epiphany of something I've already thought about. But basically, the threats we're facing now are small factions, and we can't band together as one majority faction of common people because we can easily freeload um, from smaller groups that are trying to benefit the public good. But it's like there's all these things in place to stop big groups of people from rising up, but there's not really much to stop little groups because of the republic. And so all this power is concentrated in this small group of rich, powerful people.
But why can't we? I don't understand why a larger faction couldn't like overtake that
Well,
from
it
that
could. It's
description.
just hard to it's hard to assemble millions of people for a common good outside of voting. Like people, you're not going to get everyone to join a group called like anti billionaire oligarchy club to stop the people in power from stopping us, because this group would exist, right? And some people join because they care enough about the cause, and then other people would say, "Oh, that's great. I support this, but I'm not going to join because they're just going to get the thing done anyways." And that's like the freeloader issue.
Oh, I see.
And so what happens instead of people banding together is interest groups of similar interests have to compete for the population's participants. And then in our class, we were talking about AARP and how it's like people who join AARP, like their AARP fights for fights against age discrimination and for good social security and benefits for senior citizens. But every old person benefits from that fight, even if they don't spend $15 a year to be a part of AARP. And then AARP, instead of being like, we're fighting for this, every senior citizen should be a part of this, what they say is, hey, if you're a part of this, you can get, cheaper insurance because we're partnered up with this other person. And these other groups are telling you can get other benefits. So it's about what private benefits you're getting from being a part of this club instead of the greater good. So that's pretty interesting.
I don't know if I follow you.
What part do you not follow?
So they're incentivized to not be a part of AARP.
Well, they're not incentivized not to. It's just the common public good that AARP is fighting for still will happen whether or not you will reap the benefits of what they're fighting for whether or not you're a part of the group.
Right.
So instead of instead of having people be like, "Oh, I need to fight for age discrimination rights or better social security, whatever AARP is fighting for." Instead, they're just like, "Oh, I actually don't really care about getting good insurance, so I'm not going to join because it's not the public good that you would reap exists whether or not you're a part of the club." And so
Right.
it further divides us with the
S-
incentives of, you know, like if there were to be another age related group, I don't know if there is, but they could say, "Hey, we'll get you better dental care than AARP can." You know what I mean?
Yeah. So what's the solution? There's no solution. You're just saying that's the nature of like these smaller groups.
I think that's just what our situation is right now, and why we've been so unable to do anything about the people in power, whether or not they're reptilian child rapists or not.
Yeah.
It's
I
just
heard something about like Roman culture, and there's like Christianity was like a big populist movement against like the established Roman society and like the government of Rome. And
weren't they
that's,
Catholic though?
well, they adopted it for this reason. They figured out that
Oh,
they couldn't fight Christianity and its like pull on people, so that's why they developed the Roman Catholic Church, was because they're like, well, we can't fight this, so we're just gonna have to become it and like own and like be be the best at it, and then like take control in that way.
I see. Well, that seems bad also.
Yeah, and it kind of, I think they were trying to make parallels to Trump's
Yeah, I was about to say that. That is like that's how populist movements work. Like
right. They get,
people are unified over things, and then they get taken over by someone who just wants power.
yeah, so Trump is like saying all the right things, and he
Yeah,
like
but then he
really was
didn't.
like a historic populist movement and like
Yeah,
got like the most amount of votes ever essentially. And then
yeah.
he,
He what he did that a lot of people have not done is got people who just wouldn't have voted
yeah,
to think that they were going to make a difference and that this person was going to make a change for them.
right.
And it seems great, and then it's not. And I don't know if there could be someone who actually says all the right things and then does them because of the rest of the people.
What do you mean because of the rest of the people?
Like because of the rest of
The people
the
in power?
yeah, the institutions.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's part of the problem is that it's so institutionalized and the people like they won't. So like, why did they not let Bernie in the race? Like they cut him out.
Because the two
Remember
party
that?
system. He was too against like lobbying and all the bad things that are going on with all the Congress members and all the people in the uh,
Right. But
National Democratic Party or whatever it's called.
the story is that they didn't even give him a chance in the primaries. They just dropped him, even though he would
Yeah,
have
because
like gotten a lot of
his
support.
oh yeah, he probably I don't know, he would have put up a good fight if he was institutionally backed. But yeah, they don't. His ideas were too radical and would have actually helped the common man and not the institutions that have to back politicians. That's why
Yeah.
I think the
So
two party system like collapsing would be like a huge potentially fix or potentially alleviating step in our political system because the founding fathers didn't have any idea about the two parties. And I think it
right.
would be better if they didn't exist.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Because then it basically opens the door for like true populist movements and not like controlled populist movements. Because then you could just
Yeah,
be some guy who is interested in politics and you have good ideas and people like you and you can like drum up a following and it kind of makes it accessible to anyone rather than like, well, Peter Thiel gave you he said you're a good guy and he gave you $25 million for your campaign. Like instead of it being like so institutionalized.
yeah, yeah. The thing with Peter Thiel is he saw Trump being successful and then backed him because it would give him power and it would give him influence, and that's like the cycle, and that's heartbreaking to see. It's like
Yeah.
it's
And that's like how it's been going for the past like 100 years. You could argue. I mean, you could probably argue that someone like JFK was a true populist president, and they fucking shot him because he was going to do
that's
things
why he
that
got shot.
exactly. It's just
Yeah,
like
I'm
we're
not
not
super
allowed.
familiar with. I know he was like loved, but what all did he actually do?
He was like a true Democrat leader, and he was like for the people. Like he was like the type of president that everyone wanted and like needed, and they killed him because one of the things that he was going to do was take power away from the Federal Reserve so they don't just print money, and he was going to like put us back on the gold standard, which would have like would have been a great
Yeah,
move
that
for
would
the
have been cool.
people. Yeah, and he also wanted to get rid of the CIA because he noticed corruption in it, and they were like,
Yeah,
"No, we
and
can't
then
have
they
that."
killed him. Yeah, fuck.
Like those two things are like death notes. Like you can't do that.
Yeah, I think the the like fuck, what are they called? Not like associations, but the the groups that make up Congress and the executive branch that aren't elected, that like make that do regulative policy, they have too much power.
Yeah, and they don't have term limits. And they're getting a ton of money from lobbyists and they're getting money from insider trading deals. I mean, it's like super corrupt.
Yeah, I think I think the CIA is a big problem as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest problem is the fact that it's like we don't know what they're doing. They have black budgets, like literally they don't have to tell us what they're doing. So that just opens the door to they could be doing all kinds of shit.
What has the CIA done that was good?
Exactly. Good question. Probably nothing.
Yeah,
But they arguably
okay.
have more power than the president of the United States. And like I mean, they probably have like them and the Mossad are probably like the most powerful entities ever. Like in the like over
The
everything.
Mossad like AI pack? Are those?
The
I've
Mossad
connected
is
with
like the
those
CIA
things.
for Israel.
Okay, yeah. I saw a stand-up bit by that Estonian guy.
Ari Mehdi.
Yeah, and he was talking about this movie he watched where the Mossad just like killed the wrong guy
Yeah.
just because he like looked like the right guy, and they didn't even like question him or anything. It's
Yeah.
pretty funny. It was,
He's
I was a
hilarious.
fan. But yeah, I think Congress needs to lock back in. That would be cool too.
Yeah, I mean that's for sure needs to
They're like
happen.
such
They're
shells of
compromised.
people.
They're compromised. That's why everyone's compromised. Okay. Okay, Bible prophecy. Here you go. I got a tangent for you.
Awesome.
So Israel was created in like what, the 50s, like after World War II, right?
Yeah.
And it's essentially like a way, it was basically like the CIA created it to give themselves diplomatic immunity because there's a lot of crossover between the Mossad and CIA. And like people are like pedophiles will go to Israel and Israel like won't prosecute them. So it's like if you get in trouble in the US, you just go to Israel and it's kind of like the best place to go for like the scum of the earth for those reasons. Plus they have all this power.
Can't
Plus
you
they're
kind of go
like
anywhere?
what?
Can't you kind of go anywhere though? If you're a
I mean,
hot
I think
commodity on the loose.
it's just like a known safe haven, like where you
Huh.
won't get prosecuted. Like other nations will might find out and like do stuff to you, but Israel is like they won't do anything. Historically, they haven't. But anyways, like okay, so it could all tie back to basically like the Roman Empire might just be like they have seeded like all these, so they like seeded in the United States and like created the United States and like kind of fucked up our entire system with their like they're basically the institutions that create the two-party system. They've like compromised Congress. They've created the CIA to further
Who
blackmail and
has?
compromise like the people who like made Rome. It's like the same, it's like these generational secret societies.
Oh, okay. I
Okay,
see.
so I'm tying it all back to like ancient civilizations and like how it's all kind of the same old shit. So they like develop, they through these secret societies, like the founders of America were like Freemasons, which is known. It was just like where the Knights Templar, which was like Roman knighted people who would go and like kill, like go on holy wars and like protect Christian values or some bullshit like that. But essentially, just like they essentially were just like bought by the Roman Empire, I think, and like did nefarious stuff. I don't know exactly the details, but they ended up in Scottish Rites Templar, which ended up being they like changed their name a bunch of times and became like the Freemasons. And so that's like one of the secret societies. And then they you know, founded America, and then an offshoot of them and the CIA like founded Israel. So now we have like this faction of these like psychopathic people who are controlling everything. They've taken over the Holy Land in Israel and in like Jerusalem or whatever, and then now they're like gonna build a temple, which is like all Bible prophecy of how it all like circles back. And apparently, like New York is like the new. It's called New York because it's like York was like some like Roman, like some Roman like name for like the main, I don't know, controlling faction of Rome, of ancient Rome. So now New York is like the head of that, and there's like a conspiracy about like the what's it the Statue of Liberty being like some symbol of the Roman, I don't know, power. I'm losing the details, but like
Well, France gave us that, didn't they?
yeah, apparently France gave it to. I don't know. There's a backstory that might
It's
be
a
an interesting
little
backstory for me to like look
Freemason
into.
dog whistle.
Yeah, and there's like there's like some kind of symbology with the fact that she like holds the light. Oh, it's Illuminati type stuff. So she's like holding the light, which is like the whole like Illuminati lore is that they're like the light holders or whatever. And she has like seven rays coming out of her head, which means something else. Um, but anyways, it's all like connected and been going on for generations, and it's all coming to a head with like Jerusalem and Israel, and they're genociding the Palestinians because they're like, no, this is our land, and it's like becoming this holy war of like they're killing Christians all over the world, and Judaism is really like, I'm not saying all Jews or whatever, but like Judaism is just really like Satanism, like reimagined and like rebranded.
Okay, what?
Yeah, I'm not saying like all
Doesn't.
Jewish people are like that, but I'm just saying they were like, well, we're Jewish now, like some
Well,
of these
yeah, I
like
have
dark
no.
people, and so they're kind of like hiding behind Judaism because they just want to, I don't know, put a good name for themselves, but secretly they're like dominating the whole world.
Well, what do we do? What's gonna happen next?
Jesus is coming. It's in the prophecy.
Do you? Is this something you really believe?
I don't know. I just feel like it makes more sense. I might actually start reading the Bible.
The Bible is interesting. I've also
It
considered
is
reading it,
it
but
is
it's
interesting.
like it's so convoluted and all the words are old. Like I don't wanna do it.
It is weird that it has so much like power and that it's like existed for so long and it's like the oldest text we have, and the fact that the
That cannot be
accounts,
true.
I mean,
Oldest, I mean, maybe like oldest stories that
well,
were told by mouth, but it was written like fairly recently.
okay, but there's links. Okay, so like some of the oldest texts we have is like Sumerian type text and like the Gilgamesh and all that shit. But there's links to be like for the people to say that those stories are like the same stories in the Bible. They're kind of reimagined. So like the Bible has like taken all these stories and like run with it, and it's like really all the same stories.
Okay.
Like the Old Testament is supposed to be like the oldest writings, and
Yeah,
it's
I
like
guess like
reimagined. Like the flood story and Adam and Eve and all that stuff is like really like humanity's oldest stories.
okay, yeah,
And like there's
I'll
ties to
concede that.
Gilgamesh and Iliad and all these like really old stories. And those, by the way, were like word of mouth,
Yeah,
which is crazy. So like these stories just like go way back, like farther than we could ever even know because we don't have any proof. They've just like been there throughout the dawn of humanity. Like we don't know. And somewhere along the line, someone like wrote it down and we're like, okay, this is the Bible. This is like the oldest stories ever.
yeah. All right, dude. This is a lot of conspiracy, a lot of me not understanding anything, just listening, letting you, being a vessel for your conspiratorial talk. I wanted to
Yes.
talk about consciousness a little bit more, but we can do that next time. I just got off work. I'm gonna let you go.
All right. Sounds good. Make some notes for next time about consciousness. We'll talk about it.
Will do. See you, man.
All right. See you.